Hello, I'm David DeCosmo, and this is Preview, a public affairs program for Electric City Television. Once again, I'm broadcasting from my home, and our guest will be joining us by a computer video link. That guest is returning after just a short time. Gary Drapek, who is CEO of United Way for Lackawanna and Wayne counties, was here just 1 month ago talking about the problem of elderly people who are isolated. Well, that problem has now been compounded because of the virus scare. So we'll talk to Gary again about what is being done and what can be done for those elderly residents who don't have much contact with others.
Seriously, when we were together last time, who would ever think that now we'd be doing this? And the problem now with senior isolation has definitely compounded itself. Our concern is not only the emergency needs of the senior, which we're trying to take care of, like food deliveries and whatnot, but just the simple fact of being isolated completely, not being able to get out of the home, especially seniors living by themselves right now. I mean, it's a high anxiety level for everyone, and I think it's even more so for our senior population right now.
I would think, too, that at this time, it's even a little harder to get to them if you wanted to try to serve them.
Well, it is, and that's a very good point that you make. One of the things that we've been doing over the past couple of weeks, actually since you and I met in person a month ago, is we've been trying to get the message out in various medias to tell seniors, if you are alone, if you are home, if you are feeling some anxiety, please reach out for help. We're also utilizing neighborhood networks, asking neighbors to check on their senior neighbors, their older neighbors, make sure they're okay. I mean, it just, knock on the door, staying 6 feet away, of course, or, pick up the phone and call them and just make sure that the seniors in their neighborhood or their parents or their, relatives are safe and sound. This is unprecedented. I mean, in my lifetime and probably in your lifetime as well, I don't ever remember a situation like this before.
And even though social distancing is still the rule, the telephone offers you the opportunity to check.
Right. The telephone offers opportunity, and you know what? We sometimes don't give a lot of the seniors the credit they deserve. There's an awful lot of seniors that are also socially connected through the internet. Some aren't, but there are many who are. And so we're encouraging individuals to try to find that out. If your senior relative or neighbor is socially connected through, social networks and whatnot, reach out to them that way. But at the very least, pick up the phone and call. Just check on the person next door.
Now, what about the typical services that would be available to seniors at any time? Have we lost a lot of those, or are they at half service?
No, I have to tell you, they're actually they're probably moving faster now than they ever have been before. All of the social service network is still in operation. I mean, a lot of us are working from home. I'm right now in my office. I come in here every day just to kind of check up on things. But we're all connected through, again, social media. We're all connected through telephone and whatnot. We are attempting as best as we possibly can to push those services out. But again, the problem is the knowledge of the services. We have to get the word out to the senior population that help is available, but you've got to let us know that you need that help. Now, I don't know if you've heard about the program that we've kind of implemented with Area Agency on Aging and Representative Kyle Mullins. It's called Helping the Homebound, and it was just kicked off last week. It's kind of in its beginning stages, but it's a very simple system to let neighbors and first responders and police know if a senior is okay or if they may need some help. And it all has to do with color-coded cards that we're distributing out into the community. They're distributing it through the Area Agency on Aging Network, through the Meals on Wheels Network. The city is distributing out. And they're yellow cards and green cards. Now, we're asking seniors if they're okay, put the green card in their window so that the neighbor across the street or down the road can see that the senior is doing well. If they need some assistance, if they need emergency food, if they need their medications picked up, if whatever it is that they need, they switch out the green card to a yellow card. So individuals in the neighborhood, when they see the yellow card, or a police officer driving by sees a yellow card in a window, they know that the person in that home needs some assistance and that their follow-up will be given from them. We're telling individuals, and on the back of the card are phone numbers. The first phone number is Area Agency on Aging. That would be the main contact. And then what Aging will do is then filter that out to whatever agency is providing that service. For example, if the senior needs home delivered meals, Aging will then contact our volunteers, and our volunteers will then go out, pick up the meals, and deliver them off to the seniors. So it's really an interesting program, but it's very simple. It's very simple to operate. It's very simple to understand. Individuals who are interested in helping out with that can go to our website. All of that information is on our website, which is uwlc.net, and they can find out all about this program, or they can call the Area Agency on Aging, who will get the information out to them and get the cards distributed. So it's brilliant. It's actually, I have a flyer right here. I don't know if you can see it, but this will give you an idea of the green card and the yellow card, and all of this, as I said, is on our website.
So actually, anyone watching now who for some reason hasn't received those cards could just as easily make their own and put them in the window. Yellow for everything's okay, green for everything's okay, and then the yellow if they're in need of something at all.
Right, exactly. And like I said, on the back of those cards, if they want a card that's already pre-printed, all they have to do is call Area Agency on Aging, and that will be delivered to them. The Area Agency on Aging number is 570-963-6740.
All right, we will give that again and your website again before the program comes to an end. I would imagine right now then the priority is getting those cards distributed as widely as possible.
Exactly. I mean, our goal right now is to get them out to as many seniors as we possibly can. Now, I do understand that there's going to be some distributed at local grocery stores. There are senior citizen centers that are helping us to distribute them out, like they're going out to their regular constituents, distributing them. But again, like everything else, I mean, our goal is to reach everyone as best as we possibly can. So we're encouraging individuals to contact Area Agency on Aging, and they will get those cards out to the neighborhoods. Another option, if any of your listeners, want to volunteer, they can very easily volunteer by going to our and we can do this again later, to volunteer at uwlc.net. That's volunteer at uwlc.net. And what we will do is we will get the cards out to them, and they can then distribute them in their own neighborhoods. So we're trying to, what it is, David, is we're trying to get back to what, the basics of what this community is all about. This community is about helping the person next door and helping the person down the street. We've always done that all through history. And now we're trying to give another option to individuals. This is just one other way they can help their next door neighbor.
The card idea seems very, very wise, and as we head toward what some are already calling a new norm, I wonder if a set of those cards will be in all homes in the future.
Well, it's funny that you said that. I was just talking to my brother, in fact, last night, and he said to me, like, so let's pick a date. Let's all of a sudden, August 1st, everybody, somebody says everything's okay. When are you going to feel comfortable to invite 20 people over to your home? Or when are you going to feel comfortable to go to a dinner or a banquet or something where you have 200 or 300 people? It's going to be a long time before we get back to whatever normal is or whatever normal was. And I think you're right. We are facing a new normal as a society. Who would ever think that we would be in this situation?
Yeah. I want to ask you a question that might not really be, or perhaps should not be directed to you, but I know within your network you probably have heard what is happening. We've heard some very, very serious stories about elderly people in nursing homes, and
Yes.
they seem to be the very highest risk. Now, they do have services available to them, although in some cases, I guess, the level of those services have been questioned. Is anything being done to recheck on our nursing home residents?
Well, I know that aging, Area Agency on Aging is doing some work with the Department of Health to try to check on them. But that's a tragic situation simply because think of the environment in a nursing home. I mean, in most nursing homes, there are communal dining areas. There's sometimes two people in a room, two seniors in a room, and you're talking about the most vulnerable population right now. Individuals who may have pre-existing condition, their immune systems are compromised to begin with, and if one individual or one person unknowingly goes into one of those nursing homes carrying the virus, it's a pretty serious situation that they're in. I do know that most of the nursing homes in the area are doing everything that they possibly can, but this is just an unusual strange virus, David. It's so catchy, that it's tough to keep it contained.
When we
especially in that environment.
Yeah, when we did speak before, one of the problems that you associated so closely with those individuals who are isolated is facing the unknown. And now that unknown, probably just from them seeing television, includes a lot of fear.
Well, the unknown, and the unknown is across the board. And I've spoken to individuals in their 20s and spoken to individuals in their late 70s and 80s who are experiencing the same anxiety level. We have, again, on our website, we have a number of resources that if individuals are feeling anxious, there's a number of resources out there that they can access instantly to get some help or just to talk to someone. And that I guess circles me back to the whole thing that we were saying about the community. Just talking to someone. It doesn't have to be a professional counselor by any means, but just picking up the phone and speaking to someone will help, quell that anxiety level. Will help put somebody at ease, calm them down a little bit more. Part of the, at least in my opinion, part of the problem with the virus is not only the biological effects of the virus, but also the psychological effects of the virus. And as you said, it's the unknown. It's the fear of the unknown. We don't know, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
No, it kind of seems as though when things do, and I'm putting this in quotations, when things do open up, it will be only because the level of new cases has gone down to a level acceptable to where if you do get sick, there's going to be medical facilities to handle you.
Right, exactly. And I really think that the fear, like everything else, I mean, go back to tuberculosis, go back to MRSA, go back to, I don't think the fear level for this is really going to dissipate until there is a vaccine developed. And from everything you're hearing, vaccines are, months and months, sometimes years away. So as you said earlier, I think this is an example of the new normal, unfortunately. and the way we combat that, I think, is do what we've been known to do for a lifetime, and that's just be supportive of those around you, be helpful, and try to do the best you can to help the person next door.
You indicated at the beginning that the agencies designed to help those who are isolated, just seniors in general, are very active. I'm wondering if they are now overtaxed.
Well, we're very fortunate at the moment. The number one problem, I guess you would say, right now, obviously, is basic necessity like food supplies, medical supplies, and whatnot. I mean, that seems to be the initial problem that everybody's having. Our food banks, which we are in contact with daily, are doing pretty well. I mean, they're pretty well stocked. They're serving people, every day. Our volunteers, we are in a situation, again, it goes back to our community. We have more volunteers than we can put to work. We have people, oh my gosh, if you could see the number of people that have responded to help, it's really heartening. We have, every day our food banks are either, our volunteers are either delivering to homebound or they're doing pickups. So people drive up to, like, let's say United Neighborhood Centers or Friends of the Poor or someone of that, and they will be able to get their food order. Our fear is down the road. Right now, there is a 2-month moratorium on utility shutoffs. Right now, as you know, individuals cannot be evicted from their home, and I think that's a 2-month as well. What we're planning for, and what our fear is that 2, 3, 4 months down the road, with all of the job furloughs and the layoffs that have taken place, that once these abatements go away, there's going to be a deluge of individuals who are going to be needing help with their utility bills, who are going to be needing help with their mortgage payments, or housing needs, because I think we all have a tendency, when someone says to you, you don't have to pay that for the next 2 months, or we're not going to shut you off for the next 2, you're not going to pay the bill. Well, at the end of those 2 months, there's going to be a bill to pay plus whatever else you have. Now, we at the United Way have established something called a Gift of Warmth program, which was established years ago, which specifically helps individuals with rental assistance and utility shutoffs and gas and oil during the winter months and stuff like that. So we have that fund, but my fear is that fund is going to be dissipated almost instantly. If you just look at the statistics of the number of people who've been laid off, the number of people who have been furloughed from their job, the service industries. Look at the poor waiters and waitresses, bartenders, restaurant owners that are out there. Mostly depending upon tips. That's their livelihood. Well, they're not working now. So how do they make those funds? It's going to be, I don't know. We're, like I said before, we are treading new water. We're entering the unknown right now.
Does that fund where does the money come from for that fund, Gary?
Well, all of the money from that fund comes from individuals in the community who contribute into that fund throughout the year. There are individuals who donate $5 and $10 and $20 into the fund. And again, I always said I didn't want to use this as a fundraiser, but if anyone would like to help us out on that, they can go to our website, and there's a donate button. It takes them right to our page, and there's a line on there that says, if you would like your money to go to the COVID-19 fund, just fill out that form, and that money. I have to say also, 100% of those funds go back into the community. We don't take any administrative fee out of it. There's no charge. So if someone donates $10, that $10 goes right back out to help someone in need.
So while you are attempting to deal with the problems that exist right now, you're probably at a stage where you've got to do some major planning for that 2 and 3 and 4 months down the road.
That's exactly what we're doing now. I mean, part of our I have daily computer conference calls with my staff, my volunteers, and what we're looking at right now is actually the plan 6 months, 6 months in the future. How do we address these issues? When the initial crisis is over. As I said, right now we're dealing with the crisis. We're dealing with here and now today at this moment. But how do we impact and how do we help individuals when we go? And another thing, David, since we're on the subject, it's like the perfect storm. This is our 100th anniversary.
Yes.
And we had a series of events planned to kick it off and to get it going and all that. Well, obviously, all of those are now canceled. Our annual campaign begins in August and September and runs through November. Well, I'm not, I always look at glasses half full, but I have to also admit that there are a lot of people out there who are suffering. So this is going to be a very, very tough campaign year for us and for United Ways throughout the country, because people just don't have the resources that they had to give. So it's gonna be a couple of tough months ahead. But we're doing the best we can with what we have and going back to the community saying, if you can help, please help.
And again, of those who need the help, not only elderly, but those isolated elderly are on top of the list.
Oh, yes, without a doubt. And especially as we've spoken many times before, we have one of the highest per capitas in the country of seniors and a lot of and a lot of the seniors, as much as we in the Area Agency on Aging, who I have to add is doing a phenomenal job through this crisis. The Lackawanna Area Agency on Aging, we're blessed to have such a group like that's doing a great job trying to keep the seniors engaged. But there's a lot of seniors out there that we can't identify. They live in rural areas. Like a part of our catchment area is Wayne County. I mean, Wayne County is this huge sections up there that are very rural. Even in Lackawanna, you go up into the North Pocono area. Even going up to the Abington area, the further reaches of the Abington area. So one of our goals is to try to get in touch with and reach those seniors as best as we possibly can. And that's why we're reaching out to the rest of the community.
Yeah, and now
if you know of someone, let us know.
Now you've got seniors who were socially active in terms of coming to senior centers who don't have those centers to go to right now.
Right, exactly. And one of Meals on Wheels, for example, there's an organization, great organization. They at least two things happen. The seniors get their meal, but they also have someone face-to-face every day or 3 times a week or however often it is, just knocking on their door. How are you? How do you feel? Is everything okay? It's simple little acts like that could make huge differences right now, especially to our senior population.
Well,
I would encourage anyone to call again. A neighbor or if it's a senior themselves, to call Area Agency on Aging for whatever needs they might have, even if it's just to talk to someone. And that's I almost forgot my last one. We have we've been doing a program for a couple of years now called TIPS, which is the telehealth intervention program for seniors. And we have a group of volunteers, mostly from the University of Scranton, students, who go out to senior centers, and what they will do is they take the blood pressure and weight and blood ox level of seniors just to kind of keep a check on them. Well, obviously, we can't do that now because of the whole social distancing. What we're doing is we're gathering groups of volunteers, including those seniors, who are now going to make phone calls. They're going to call, once we get a list of seniors, they're going to call them on a daily basis or every other day, or just to, how are you? How's it going? Do you need anything? Can we help you in any way? So that's another group of volunteers that we're trying to put together, and we're trying to develop a list of seniors that we can contact on a regular basis.
Well, it sounds like you're doing everything possible to handle the current situation while at the same time planning for the future, and Area Agency on Aging and United Way are so crucial. So if you would, once again, the number for the Agency on Aging. Sure. And the website for United Way.
Sure. The Area Agency on Aging is 570-963 963-6740. Let me do that again. Area Agency on Aging, 570-963-6740. And the United Way website is uwlc.net. And as soon as you get on that website, you'll see a big thing that says COVID-19. You could click on that, and there's a load of information on there. Or if you're so inclined, on the left-hand side of the page, you'll see a donate button if you'd care to help us out, which would be, and as I tell everybody, $2, $3, $5, there's nothing that's too small.
Well, one of the most important things is getting the message out, and you have again helped me to do that here on ECTV. Gary, thank you so much.
Well, I hope next time it's in person.
Absolutely. Take care, my friend.
Thank you, David, so much.
Bye-bye.
Okay, you take care.
And thank you for joining us here on Preview on Electric City Television. I'm David DeCosmo. Till we see you again next time, here's hoping all your news is good.